Next on the list is a ground beef and Orzo skillet. So you freeze it and cook for later, and you can cook it on the stovetop. It first calls for 1 pound of ground beef, so it'll be half a pound, half a pound. I had bought ground beef a long time ago, and we put it in 1 pound, thawed out things, or not, frozen containers and freezer bags downstairs already. So I didn't want to buy any fresh ground beef, so I'll just thaw that out when I thaw one of these out. And then it calls for 2 ounces of baby spinach, and it says that's about a handful. I just got regular little spinach, but you can actually weigh it. Put that in there. That's 1.2 ounces. Perfect. And 1 ounce exactly. Let's make it 1.2. Come on. It's not being symmetrical. Even that didn't fill it up. There we go. 1.2. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of this spinach, but that's okay. And then it calls for 1 can, 28 ounce per can, crushed tomatoes. Again, I grow and can tomatoes, so I'm going to use a 16 ounce jar of Romas in each. And they're pretty smushed, crushed as you call it. And if you don't have crushed, you know what? Use dice and crush it up in the skillet. It doesn't really matter. It just doesn't matter. Or use your pole and you can crush them. It doesn't matter. It's just a suggestion. 2 teaspoons of onion powder. So I've got a teaspoon here, so a teaspoon in each. This sounds really good. We love Orzo and ground beef. It's kind of like, Quinny, please. Thank you. When I was a kid and we did rice-a-roni. Okay, garlic powder, 2 teaspoons. So we'll put a teaspoon in each. Come on. Here we go. And 2 teaspoons of oregano. Oh, and it calls for 2 teaspoons of salt, which I believe my cute little salt holder is almost out. But we got 1 and 2. That is it until the day of cooking, when you would do a half a cup of Orzo with each one, half a cup of Orzo, and 8 ounces of water if you're just doing a quart-sized bag. This one you would defrost in the bag overnight. When you're ready to heat it, you heat up your cast iron skillet over medium heat. You add the contents of the bag and cook. And so this should have, like I said, a half pound of ground beef in it. So I'll add the ground beef at that time also. And then you cook it till the ground beef is cooked about 5 to 6 minutes, breaking it all up. Then you add the orzo, half cup of orzo and 8 ounces of water. And you stir it till it's all combined up. Simmer over medium heat for 10 to 12 minutes. And make sure it's covered when you're simmering it. And stir often so that the orzo doesn't stick to the pan. And that's that one. Seal this up and make a label for it. Come on. Trying to get all the air out that I can. Oops, lost a little bit of tomato juice, but that's all right. Flatten her out, put the label on it, and in the freezer she goes. We are going ahead and cooking our ground beef and orzo skillet that I froze in a bag. I thawed it and dumped it in here. And now I'm cooking this until the ground beef is brown and cooked through. After that, we'll put in a half a cup of orzo and a cup of water. Meat is all brown. So we'll put in half a cup of orzo and a cup of water. Combine everything together. And I simmer over medium heat for 10 to 12 minutes, covered, stirring often until the orzo is done. And we're done. Pretty good looking little hamburger helper.